Every year, 1 in 4 adults over 65 experiences a fall, not because of weakness or clumsiness, but because their bodies no longer move as they once did. These falls are serious. They are the leading cause of injuries and even death among older adults. Here's what many don't realize. Most falls can be prevented, not with medication or expensive devices, but simply by learning how to walk differently. You've likely noticed seniors who move with quiet confidence, standing tall, walking steadily, no cane, no hesitation. It's not luck. They have learned something most don't know. In this video, you'll discover 7 simple research-backed techniques trusted by physical therapists that can make your walking safer and more stable. One of these secrets, number 4, might surprise you. It's a common mistake nearly everyone makes daily, often without realizing it. You don't need to overhaul your life. You only need to adjust the way you take each step. Ready to regain your balance and confidence? Let's begin. Meet Thomas, a 72-year-old retired engineer. For most of his life, he was independent, sharp, and active. But in just 6 months, everything changed. He experienced 3 falls. The last fall was the most serious. He slipped in his kitchen, hit the floor hard, and fractured his hip. Lying in the hospital bed that night, Thomas thought, maybe this is it. Maybe I won't walk the same again. His daughter started looking into assisted living facilities, wanting him to be safe. Thomas felt helpless, as if his freedom had been quietly taken away. Then something unexpected happened. His physical therapist didn't begin with exercises or machines. Instead, she asked a simple question. Can I show you how to walk again? Thomas laughed. I've been walking my whole life, he said. She smiled and replied, not like this. What followed wasn't a typical fitness routine. It was a series of small, subtle changes, how he stood, moved, and stepped. At first, it felt awkward, but within days, Thomas noticed the difference. He stood more upright, moved more steadily, and gained confidence with every step. 1 year later, Thomas no longer feared falling. He hikes local trails with his grandchildren. No cane, no wobble, just freedom in every step. His story isn't unique. It's a powerful reminder that balance can be rebuilt, movement can be retrained, and independence can return. And it all begins with how you walk. What Thomas learned wasn't magic. It was method, backed by science, proven in real life. Over the past 2 years, I've spoken with dozens of physical therapists, geriatric doctors, and older adults who move like they're 20 years younger. What I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about walking. It turns out there are 7 essential techniques that make the biggest difference. They're not complex. They don't require intense workouts or expensive devices. They're small changes, tiny shifts that transform how your body moves with gravity and time. And the best part? They work together like a system. One technique supports the next. As you apply them, you'll notice a chain reaction. Better posture, steadier steps, stronger confidence. These techniques have helped older adults avoid surgery, cancel their walker orders, and even return to hikes and dancing. Each secret targets a problem you probably didn't even know you had. Some fix how your feet hit the ground. Others retrain how your eyes guide your movement. One secret, the 4th one, is a common mistake we've all made since childhood. It's something almost no one talks about, yet it silently increases fall risk every single day. You don't need to master everything at once. You just need to start with one. Practice it, feel the shift, and then build from there. In the next part of this video, we'll begin with the first walking secret. It's got nothing to do with your feet and everything to do with where you're looking. Let me ask you something simple. Where do your eyes go when you walk? Most older adults tend to look down, just a few feet ahead. It feels safer that way, like you're watching for cracks, curbs, or anything that might trip you. But here's the surprising truth. Looking down actually makes you more likely to fall. Why? Because the moment your eyes drop, your head tilts forward. That shift pulls your entire body slightly off center. Your shoulders round, your neck stiffens, your back tightens, and your brain gets less accurate information about your surroundings. This is where the 3-point gaze technique comes in. Simple, elegant, game-changing. Here's how it works. 1. Choose a near point, about 10 to 15 feet ahead of you. This gives your brain enough time to notice and process obstacles without forcing you to stare at the ground. 2. Every few seconds, lift your gaze to a far point. The end of the sidewalk, the door you're walking toward, the horizon. This movement naturally realigns your posture, opens your chest, and lets your spine straighten. 3. Finally, engage your peripheral vision, your side awareness. You don't need to turn your head. Just let your eyes soften and expand your field of view, like you're noticing the world instead of scanning for danger. Thomas remembers trying this for the first time. It felt weird, he said. I thought for sure I'd trip. But within days, his walking changed. He stood taller, breathed easier, and felt more alert and less tense. Science backs this up. A study from the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found that gaze direction has a measurable effect on balance. Participants who looked down had more postural sway and shorter steps. Those using the three-point gaze walked with smoother rhythm, better posture, and improved reaction times to sudden obstacles by almost 20%. It's such a small shift, but it has a massive impact. So ask yourself, do you tend to walk with your head down? If so, try this today, just during a short walk. Notice how your body responds. You don't need to force anything, just look up and let your balance follow. Now let's shift our focus, literally, to your feet. Have you ever watched how a child walks? Their steps are light, rhythmic, and effortless. The heel touches first, then the foot gently rolls forward, finishing with a push off the toes. It's smooth, balanced, natural. But somewhere along the way, often with age, injury, or fatigue, we lose that pattern. Instead of rolling through each step, we land flat-footed. Or worse, some people start stepping toe first. And here's the problem. Both of those patterns disrupt your body's ability to stay balanced. When your whole foot slaps the ground at once, your legs lose the natural shock-absorbing motion they were designed for. Your knees and hips take on more force than they should. Your stride becomes stiff, uneven. You feel less in control. Worse yet, stepping with your toes first is like walking a tightrope. You narrow your base of support, and each step becomes more wobbly, especially on uneven surfaces. The solution? A technique called the heel-to-toe roll. It's simple. Each step should begin with your heel making contact with the ground. Then, your weight smoothly shifts along the outside edge of your foot, finishing with a gentle push-off from the toes. This movement activates your ankle joints, helps distribute pressure evenly, and creates a stable triangle of support with every stride. Thomas shared how strange this felt at first. I hadn't realized how flat my steps had become, he said. For a week, it felt unnatural, like I was forcing each step. But after some practice, it started to feel right again. My balance came back. Want to try it now? Take 5 slow steps in a straight line. With each one, focus on heel first, roll through, push off toe. Don't worry about speed. Focus on flow. Dr. James Richardson, a specialist in gait rehabilitation, explains it well. When you walk heel to toe, you're not just stepping, you're giving your body a rhythm to follow. It keeps your brain, joints, and muscles in sync. If you've got arthritis or foot pain that makes heel contact difficult, don't worry. You can still benefit by taking shorter steps at first and wearing supportive shoes. We'll talk more about footwear in an upcoming section. The important thing is to rebuild the connection between how you walk and how you feel. Because when your steps become smoother, your whole body starts to relax, and that's when confidence returns. Let's talk about something that almost no one thinks about when walking: your core. Most people associate core strength with fitness classes or ab workouts, sit-ups, crunches, planks. But the real power of your core isn't about six-pack abs. It's about stability, especially when you're in motion. Your core is the silent stabilizer of your entire body. It's the bridge between your upper and lower half. When it's engaged, everything else works better. Your hips, your knees, even your breathing. But here's what often happens with age. We start letting our midsection go slack when we walk. Not on purpose. It just stops participating. And when the core checks out, your back has to work harder. Your knees take on too much. Your hips wobble more. That's when the chain of instability begins. Thomas didn't even realize it was happening to him. I thought I was just walking a little slower with age, he said. But once I learned how to activate my core, I felt like someone tightened all the loose bolts in my body. So how do you do it? You don't need crunches. No workouts required. Just use a simple trick therapists call the zip-up technique. While walking, gently pull your belly button inward toward your spine. Not sucking it in, just a soft, controlled tightening, about 20 to 30% of your full effort. Enough to feel supported, but not so much that it affects your breathing. It's almost invisible. No one around you would even notice, but your body will, instantly. At first, Thomas kept forgetting, so his therapist gave him a fun solution. He placed small colored dot stickers in key places around his home, on the fridge, the bathroom mirror, the front door. Each time he saw one, it reminded him, check your core. 1 minute of awareness. That's all it took to retrain the habit. Studies from the National Institute on Aging have shown that core engagement dramatically improves balance recovery, especially when older adults stumble or walk on uneven ground. And for those with lower back pain, this technique often brings relief. Why? Because when your core is active, your spine doesn't have to carry the weight alone. It may feel subtle, but the stability it provides is powerful. So the next time you walk, even if it's just from one room to another, try it. Pull in slightly. Breathe naturally. Keep walking. It's a small change, but it strengthens the foundation of every step you take. Let's talk about something that almost no one thinks about when walking: your core. Most people associate core strength with fitness classes or ab workouts, sit-ups, crunches, planks. But the real power of your core isn't about six-pack abs. It's about stability, especially when you're in motion. Your core is the silent stabilizer of your entire body. It's the bridge between your upper and lower half. When it's engaged, everything else works better: your hips, your knees, even your breathing. But here's what often happens with age. We start letting our midsection go slack when we walk. Not on purpose. It just stops participating. And when the core checks out, your back has to work harder. Your knees take on too much. Your hips wobble more. That's when the chain of instability begins. Thomas didn't even realize it was happening to him. I thought I was just walking a little slower with age, he said. But once I learned how to activate my core, I felt like someone tightened all the loose bolts in my body. So how do you do it? You don't need crunches. No workouts required. Just use a simple trick therapists call the zip-up technique. While walking, gently pull your belly button inward toward your spine, not sucking it in. Just a soft, controlled tightening, about 20 to 30% of your full effort. Enough to feel supported, but not so much that it affects your breathing. It's almost invisible. No one around you would even notice, but your body will, instantly. At first, Thomas kept forgetting, so his therapist gave him a fun solution. He placed small colored dot stickers in key places around his home, on the fridge, the bathroom mirror, the front door. Each time he saw one, it reminded him, check your core. 1 minute of awareness. That's all it took to retrain the habit. Studies from the National Institute on Aging have shown that core engagement dramatically improves balance recovery, especially when older adults stumble or walk on uneven ground. And for those with lower back pain, this technique often brings relief. Why? Because when your core is active, your spine doesn't have to carry the weight alone. It may feel subtle, but the stability it provides is powerful. So the next time you walk, even if it's just from one room to another, try it. Pull in slightly, breathe naturally, keep walking. It's a small change, but it strengthens the foundation of every step you take. By now, you've realigned your gaze, adjusted your steps, engaged your core, and reactivated your arms. But even with all that, your stability still depends on something more foundational: your feet, your stance, and how you handle those tricky transition moments. Let's complete the system with the final 3 secrets. Secret number 5, build from the ground up. Foot strength and the right shoes. Your feet are your only contact with the ground, yet most people neglect them completely. With age, 2 quiet changes happen. First, the nerve endings in your feet, the ones that send signals to your brain about surface, pressure, and direction, start to dull. Second, the tiny stabilizing muscles inside your feet weaken, especially after years of being trapped in stiff, cushioned shoes. And the result? You lose feedback. You lose control. Thomas thought his favorite slip-on shoes were helping him. Thick soles, soft padding, easy to wear. His therapist called them balance blockers. They dulled sensation, removed flexibility, and made it harder for his body to respond to uneven ground. So what's the fix? Choose shoes with 3 key features. A low, wide heel, not completely flat, but no more than a 1-inch difference front to back. A thin, flexible forefoot, so your foot can feel the ground and respond. Secure closure, Laces or strong Velcro, never loose slip-ons. Thomas also started a simple daily foot routine, toe spreading. Spread your toes as wide as you can, hold for 5 seconds. Towel curls, scrunch a towel toward you with your toes. Marble pickup, use your toes to pick up small objects and place them in a bowl. In 6 weeks, his balance scores improved. But more than that, he felt confident walking across grass, gravel, or stairs, without second-guessing every step. Secret number 6, widen your base. Walk like you're on train tracks. Here's something subtle but powerful. Most people walk with their feet too close together. They don't even notice it. If your feet cross the midline, even slightly, you're basically walking a tightrope. Your base of support shrinks. One small bump or misstep, and you're thrown off balance. That's why therapists teach the stability rectangle. It means walking with your feet hip-width apart, as if you're on 2 parallel train tracks. Thomas had walked narrow for years. His therapist placed 2 strips of tape down the hallway, hip-width apart. He practiced walking between them twice a day. After 2 weeks, his stance naturally adjusted. He wasn't wobbling anymore. His body felt more grounded. If you're tall, you might need a slightly wider stance. If you have hip pain, start narrower and ease into it. But the goal is the same: create a wider, safer base. Every stable step starts with where you place your feet. Secret number 7, pause before you pivot. Master the transitions. Here's something surprising. Most falls don't happen while walking straight. They happen during transitions, standing up, turning, stepping sideways, walking through doorways, or moving from carpet to tile. Why? Because these moments require your brain and body to shift gears, and most people rush them. That's why the 3-second pause is so powerful. Before you turn, stop, or shift direction, pause. Engage your core. Focus your eyes where you're going. Then move, smoothly and deliberately. No twisting, no sudden pivots. Step, then turn. Thomas marked high-risk spots in his home with red dot stickers, next to the stairs, near his favorite chair in the narrow hallway. Each one reminded him to pause, just 3 seconds. It changed everything. Research shows that 87% of falls in older adults happen during transitions. But using this mindful pause reduced fall risk by nearly 50%. It's not about moving slower. It's about moving smarter. When you combine these 7 techniques, something beautiful happens. You don't just prevent falls. You rediscover ease, rhythm, and confidence in how you move through the world. And like Thomas, you might just start enjoying walks again. Not because you have to, but because you can. These 7 walking secrets are not quick tips or temporary fixes. They form a complete system, a new way of moving, a better way of walking, designed for a body that has changed with age but still responds when treated with care. Each technique connects to the next. The gaze technique lifts your posture. The heel-to-toe roll smooths your stride. Core engagement brings stability to every step. Arm swing restores rhythm and balance. Proper footwear and foot strength rebuild your foundation. A wider base makes every step safer, and the 3-second pause gives you control over transitions. Individually, each one helps. Together, they transform the way you move through the world. That's exactly what happened with Thomas. From 3 falls in 6 months to walking confidently, pain-free, unassisted, and back to enjoying life with his grandkids. And he didn't do it with pills or expensive treatments or hours at the gym. He simply relearned how to walk with intention. Patricia, 78, shared how the 3-second pause changed everything for her after a near fall in her bathroom. Now, every time I turn, I stop, breathe, and go. I haven't had a close call since. Robert, 84, used to walk with his feet too close together. I never realized it, he said, but just widening my steps a little, it felt like I got my balance back. Dr. Elizabeth Morrow, a geriatric rehab director, put it best: the aging brain can still learn. It's never too late to retrain movement. What matters is consistency. So here's your plan. Just 1 week, 1 new habit each day. Day 1, focus on where you're looking. Day 2, add the heel-to-toe roll. Day 3, practice light core engagement. Day 4, restore your natural arm swing. Day 5, recheck your shoes and start foot exercises. Day 6, practice walking with hip-width spacing. Day 7, slow down transitions with a mindful pause. From week 2 onward, spend just 2 minutes a day reviewing these techniques before you walk. Over time, they'll become automatic, just part of how you move. Because the truth is, it's not age that weakens you. It's using old habits that no longer match your body's needs. And when you shift those habits, step by step, something changes. You don't just avoid falls, you reclaim your freedom.